You think you're the one in charge in your home. You pay the bills, you buy the food, you make the rules. But let me ask you something. When was the last time your cat wanted something and didn't get it? Because I think if you're honest with yourself, you already know the answer. And it's not as flattering as you'd like it to be. Dogs are easy to understand. You train them, you set rules. They learn to follow your lead because pleasing you is literally built into who they are. Cats are a completely different story. They don't follow commands. They don't try to make you happy. They don't adjust themselves to fit your expectations. And yet, somehow, they always end up getting exactly what they want. The food, the attention, the spot on the couch, the schedule that works for them. And here's the part that should make you stop and think. In every single one of those situations, you're the one who moved. You're the one who adjusted. You're the one who changed your behavior to accommodate theirs. So, who's really training who here? Number 1, they trained you with meows. Here's something fascinating that researchers have actually studied. The meow, that sound your cat makes at you constantly, is not something cats use with each other. Adult cats in the wild don't meow at other cats. They hiss, they chirp, they trill, they use body language. But the meow, that was developed specifically for humans. Your cat figured out through trial and error that making a certain sound at you produces results. They meowed. You looked up. They meowed again. You got up. Food appeared. And in that moment, a lesson was learned. Not by the cat, by you. Over time, they've refined this. There's a specific meow for food, a different one for attention, one for the door, one for when they're annoyed. And you respond to each one differently without even realizing you've been trained to do so. You didn't teach your cat to communicate with you. Your cat taught themselves how to communicate with you by figuring out exactly which sounds make you move. That is not random. That is deliberate, learned, highly effective behavior, and it works on you every single time. Number 2, they control your sleep. Let's talk about the 4 a.m. situation, because if you have a cat, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Paw on your face, sitting directly on your chest, knocking something off the nightstand, walking across your head, meowing directly into your ear at a volume that seems physically impossible for an animal that small. You wake up, groggy, disoriented, a little frustrated, and then you get up and feed them, because it's easier, because you want to go back to sleep, because honestly, what else are you going to do? And that right there is the whole problem, because your cat just learned something. Waking the human equals food. It worked once, so they did it again. It worked again, so it became a strategy. And now you have an alarm clock that runs entirely on their schedule, has no snooze button, and cannot be turned off. You didn't choose that wake-up time. You didn't set that alarm, but you get up anyway, every morning, on their terms. If that's not control, I genuinely don't know what is. Number 3, they make you change your plans. This one is so subtle that most people laugh when they recognize themselves in it. But it happens constantly. You're about to get up. You have somewhere to be, something to do. You're literally mid-motion towards standing up. And then your cat walks over, steps onto your lap, curls up, and looks at you. And you stop. You sit back down. You check the time. You think, okay, maybe a few more minutes. You rearrange whatever you were going to do to accommodate this small animal who simply decided your lap was the right place to be right now. Or you're getting ready to leave and your cat does that thing, sits by the door, looks at you, maybe makes a small sound, and you feel guilty, genuinely guilty, about leaving your own home. You linger. You give them extra attention. You delay your own day because of the expression on a cat's face. That is influence. Real, measurable, consistent influence over your behavior. And your cat didn't have to say a single word. Now here's where it gets really interesting, because this isn't just random cat behavior, there's actually a system underneath all of it. A surprisingly consistent, surprisingly sophisticated system. Number 4, they use body language like a tool. Your cat has figured out exactly which physical signals get a reaction out of you, and they use them deliberately. The slow blink, the gentle head tilt, the tail held high when they walk toward you, the way they tuck their paws underneath themselves when they're settled. Each one of these triggers something in you. Warmth, affection, the urge to reach out and pet them, the feeling that everything is right with the world, and on the other end, the turned back, the flattened ears, the tail that flicks with precise irritation. These trigger a different response: concern, the urge to fix whatever you did wrong, the anxious little "are you okay, what happened, what did I do?" energy that sends you adjusting your behavior immediately. Your cat has mapped your emotional responses. They know what makes you move toward them and what makes you try to make things right. And they deploy these signals not randomly, but in the moments where they're most likely to work. That is a level of social intelligence that most people never give cats credit for. Number 5, they reward the behavior they like. This is the one that really flips everything upside down, because we think of training as something we do to our pets. But your cat has been running their own training program on you since the day they moved in. Think about it. When you do something they like, give them the right kind of attention, feed them on time, leave their favorite spot free, they reward you. They stay close, they purr, they settle in your lap. They give you that warm, peaceful, everything is good feeling that is honestly one of the best feelings in the world. And when you do something they don't like, you move them, you're late with food, you pet them too long, they withdraw, they leave, they give you the cold shoulder, and you feel it. You actually feel that absence. And you start, without even consciously deciding to, adjusting your behavior to get back to the good version. That is textbook conditioning. Reward the behavior you want to increase. Withdraw the reward from behavior you want to decrease. Your cat didn't read a psychology textbook. They just figured it out through lived experience. And it works perfectly. Number 6, they take over your space. Your keyboard, your side of the bed, your favorite chair. That one specific spot on the couch that gets the best light and the best view of the TV. Your cat found all of these places, claimed every single one. And what did you do? You moved. You got a different chair. You shifted to the other side of the bed. You started working around them instead of asking them to move. And it didn't happen all at once. It was gradual, one spot at a time, until one day you looked around your own home and realized your cat has the best seat in every single room, and you just accepted it. You didn't even really notice it happening. Territory is everything to a cat, and they have systematically, quietly, completely taken over yours. While you were busy thinking, you owned the place. Number 7, they restructured your entire day. When do you wake up? Feeding time. When do you sit down in the evening? About the time your cat wants to be near you. When do you go to bed? Roughly when your cat has decided the day is over. When do you play? When they bring you the toy and drop it at your feet and stare at you until you pick it up. Your whole routine, if you look at it honestly, has been quietly reorganized around the needs and preferences of your cat. Not dramatically, not all at once, just slowly, gradually, one small accommodation at a time, until their schedule and yours are basically the same schedule, which is to say, theirs. You probably thought you chose your routine, but look a little closer. A lot of those choices were made in response to a cat who was very clear about what they needed, and when. Here's the part that reframes all of it, because at this point you might be feeling slightly outmaneuvered, maybe a little amused, maybe mildly concerned about how thoroughly you've been handled. But here's what's actually true. Your cat is not doing any of this to dominate you. They're not running some cold, calculated operation designed to take over your life. Every behavior on this list, the meowing, the sleep interruptions, the space claiming, the reward and withdrawal, it all comes from the same place. They're building something with you, a structure, a rhythm, a relationship that feels safe and predictable, and theirs. The control is really just a cat's way of creating connection, of making sure you're woven into their world as securely as they're woven into yours. They need to know you'll respond, that you're reliable, that the bond between you is real and consistent. And so they test it, reinforce it, and build it every single day. That's not manipulation, that's attachment. So, no, you don't fully control your cat. You probably never did. And looking back, were you ever really trying that hard? Because what you've actually built together is something stranger and better than control. A whole little system of signals and responses and routines that belongs entirely to the two of you. They know how to reach you. You know how to read them. You've both learned each other in ways that took time and patience and a lot of small daily moments. That's not a cat running your life. That's a relationship. A real one. Built quietly on both sides without either of you fully realizing it was happening. And honestly, that might be the most beautiful thing about it.